Hello and welcome back to TomKat Stitchery. I'm Whitney, and today I've got a couture skirt to share with you all. Does it look couture on the mannequin? There's so many couture techniques in it. But yeah, okay. Let's start at the beginning. Why I am not a couture seamstress. I don't do a lot of couture. Why did I do some couture? How did I learn to do the couture? All the questions. Okay, so I've done some couture in the past. I've taken classes at various and sundry sewing conventions, and especially when I was professionally sewing. I guess I still am professionally sewing, but when I was sewing for clients and working and stuff like that, I went to a lot of different clinics and that sort of thing. And I've been able to take like in-person classes from Susan Calgie and Claire Schaefer and all sorts of like couture, amongst other things, all sorts of couture classes. So I have been introduced to couture sewing. If you followed along at all since the beginning of the year, you know that my resolution for the beginning of the year was to slow down a little bit, to put more details into my garments, like some heirloom stitching and, more thoughtful. So I wasn't just rushing through projects, because I do have a tendency to do that. I consider myself a ready-to-wear seamstress. Not that I'm trying to not fast fashion. Like, I'm not trying to push out as many things as possible. I do want to be thoughtful in the fabrics I'm using and the garments that I'm making, and that I'm making a cohesive closet, and that these are garments that I'm going to get a lot of wear out of. But that being said, I would have been able to make this skirt in probably an hour with the details that I did on it. I didn't put the pockets in, that sort of thing. If I were just sewing it straight up on a machine, this couture skirt took me 10 hours. But it was good. It was good to slow down and a good change of pace. So I am a member of the Cashmerette All-Access Club Tier. And a lot of times I feel like with these clubs, you get, especially when you're like in top tier of a lot of these clubs, it's very easy to get sucked into like, okay, I get a free pattern each month. Or not free, it's just included. I'm paying for a pattern each month. And, maybe there's a community aspect to it that I, dig into. Or maybe there's some discount codes, which are all really great and I think make all these different clubs so worth the money. But with the Cashmerette All-Access Tier, not only do you have access to all of those things, so you get the whole back catalog of patterns and, a new pattern each month. There's a community, there's discount codes, but there's also quite a few classes or seminar type things that are included with that as well, that you can go back and watch as many times as you want, rewind them, rewind, I just aged myself. Go back and forth though between lessons and different modules and that sort of thing to pick up. And there's a number of them that are included in that all access tier. It is such a great bang for your buck. There's so much value that is in that all access tier of the Cashmerette, especially if you're a big fan of Cashmerette patterns like I am. As a reminder, I do have a coupon code. TomKat10 does get you $10 off your first year of all access. I have been paying for all access with my own money almost since the beginning. I started off on the very lowest tier for like the first, 4 or 5 months, and then I switched to all access, and I've not looked back since that point. But one of the classes that's over there is a class with Susan Calgie on the couture skirt. So this was a Zoom that was part of the all access that you signed up for and that sort of thing. Anyway, they recorded all of it, and they've turned it into a class that's now included with your all access tier, which it's just the recording of it. And it is filled with so many nuggets of wisdom from Susan Calgie, but also walks you through how to do a couture skirt using the Elmwood pattern. Oh, now that I'm saying that, the Elmwood pattern from Cashmerette, that's one of their club patterns. It's just a straight skirt pattern. So the pattern itself is a straight skirt pattern. It comes in 2 lengths. It comes in like a longer length and then right above the knee length. Straight skirt, has a zipper in the back and a waistband. And then there's options for pockets at the front. So that is kind of the skirt in a nutshell. But Susan walks you through all the different couture techniques and stuff. And I am going to tell you guys, so I did not put any pockets on this. And instead of putting the waistband on, we use Petersham ribbon to finish off the waistband, which is a lovely, waist finishing. I actually prefer a faced waistband instead of a standard waistband. I just find it more comfortable on my body. I have a short torso. I don't know. I really love a good faced waistband, whether that's on pants or skirts. So I was very excited to try this method, and it's lovely. So for the fact that this is just a front, and then there's two backs with a standard zipper in the back, of which I hand picked in, and then it finishes off the top with this grosgrain ribbon. It is lined. The skirt is lined, and the pattern comes with the lining, so you can make all sorts of things. 10 hours, folks. So let's talk about this. Number one, I really did have a good time. It was a wonderful, I did it all in one day. It was a wonderful day spent in the sewing room. And I will say, it wasn't just 10 hours of me sitting. Like, I took a lunch break for, a couple, an hour or whatever. I actually had my intern here working and doing some work during 2 hours of that. So I wasn't completely focused on this. I was going back and forth between stuff that she needed. So it was, had I sat down and dedicated, it would have been less than that. But it was a day full of sewing. I had stupid television on in the background. I was doing a ton of hand sewing, which was so therapeutic and so great for the mental health. Now, I will say, when I got to the very last step, because this, I'll do close up so you can see everything. The lining is hand sewn into the skirt all the way across the bottom. So everything is enclosed here. By the time I was doing that, which was the very last step, I was done. I was ready to be done. I'm like, okay, I would have, I could have stopped and picked it up maybe the next day, and that I would have been totally fine. But I just needed to finish it for deadlines and stuff like that. So I did do that. Am I going to sew couture all garments? No, that's just not me, but it is fun to do a couture garment every now and again. Now, let's talk about some adjustments that I made. I did shorten the skirt by 2 inches. Probably didn't need to shorten it that much. I wanted more of a mini skirt and less of just like an above the knee skirt. 1 inch probably was plenty. With Cashmerette patterns, when I am doing a longer skirt, usually 3 inches is what I have to take off, like a maxi or a midi. I need to take it up 3 inches. And typically anything like below the knee, I need to take up 2 inches. But since this was an above the knee, the view B was above the knee already, I probably could have just gone up 1 inch and it would have been fine. It's not too short, and I've worked really hard on my legs the past 2 years in the gym, so I'm going to embrace it, but it could probably be 1 inch longer and I wouldn't be sad about it. But that being said, this is a very well-made skirt, folks. So there is silk organza interlining on the inside of it, of which I use my tracing wheel, and everything is hand basted, and then the skirt was hand basted together, and then it was sewn on the sewing machine, and then there's 2 darts in the back. There's no darts in the front. I use this beautiful linen that you will be seeing more of in my little summer capsule wardrobe. That is entirely finished now, my summer capsule wardrobe. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, because that's going to be popping up here all over the channel. And I really do love this. And when you see my topper for the summer capsule wardrobe, which will be like 4 or 5 videos from now. 4 videos from now, it doesn't matter. I'm really excited to wear this as a 2-piece set as well. Although I love it with the salmon colored t-shirt, and I have another shirt that I've made that's gonna look great with this. The upside of having the silk organza back this linen is that it makes the linen very crisp. So I'm not, when I'm sitting and standing, I'm not getting the instantaneous wrinkles. So if you are someone that really wants to wear linen but struggles because you hate the creases, although give in to the rumple, but if that's something that really bothers you, a couture skirt is a great answer. Putting the silk organza behind it keeps it's very lightweight, so this is a very cool to wear skirt. Allows a lot of breathability, so great for the hot weather, but it gives it structure. And I got my silk organza from Dharma Trading Company. If they've still got it, I will link down below. It was very reasonably priced, just plain silk organza. And I use it mostly in any kind of couture stuff, so not a ton, but I do use it in that sort of thing. And I used Petersham ribbon. Again, in the class, Susan has a lot of recommendations for where to get a lot of these materials. So, and I would absolutely listen to her. I mean, she's the queen of all that kind of stuff. But I had Petersham ribbon, which is kind of like grosgrain ribbon, but it has scallops on both edges, so it can be molded and turned. I bought a few bolts in like 4 or 5 different colors when I was in Philadelphia for a sewing conference, and we went into a couple of fabric stores that were there, and there was a big bin just full of Petersham ribbon, and I just grabbed a whole bunch of bolts. It was like really inexpensive rayon Petersham ribbon. So glad I did that. They're kind of random colors, but that's okay. I had a green that went really well with this. And then it is lined in a silk crepe de chine. I had some in this beautiful pale pink that I thought would make a great lining for this. And it was a remnant from another project. So I had enough to do the skirt. And then the back, I mean, you can't really see it because my mannequin is smaller than me, but I have a hand-picked zipper here, folks. And it looks very nice, if I do say so myself, with the, so it's a regular slot zipper, but the way this gets put in, it's so easy. And then the hook and eye that gets finished off there with that Petersham ribbon on the inside. I mean, Susan studied in Paris at couture houses, so I feel very confident that this is a very couture skirt. Anyway, this is a reminder though. If you are someone that has an all-access tier of Cashmerette and maybe you haven't delved into a lot of the other extras that come along with that, go take a look. Make yourself a couture skirt. This is a great little summer project. You could stretch it out a lot longer than what I did, maybe to make it a little bit more manageable, a little bit more enjoyable. Nothing about this was fast. I'm a fast seamstress, but nothing about this was fast. So I feel like anybody would be going about the same pace as I was going on this. But I highly, highly recommend. And honestly, guys, I am over the moon with my skirt. And again, it's a very, very well-made skirt that will last and last and last. This thing is not going anywhere as long as it fits my body. Great. And maybe one day when it doesn't fit my body, it can go to my daughter or who else. But this is one that I'm keeping because there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, not really, but a lot of work that went into this. And it is very rewarding to have those type of garments in my wardrobe. And I'm going to wear this as a casual skirt. Just because it is couture and handmade does not mean it needs to be saved for those special occasions. I will be wearing this all summer long. And again, it looks really cute with the top I just made, and I can't wait to show you that here on the channel. So anyway, as a reminder, I do have a coupon, TomKat 10, that'll get you $10 off your first year of all access if that is something you're interested in. Or, you know, just give some couture sewing a try. It is a lot of fun. There's a lot of resources out there. Again, Susan's class is fantastic. This Zoom, it's broken up into, oh gosh, I don't even know, quite a few different sessions. Maybe 6 different sessions, maybe more. Very easily digestible. You can hear other people's questions and stuff from that original ask. It's lovely. Anyway, highly recommend. And I'm over the moon with my skirt. So that's it. That is all I've got for today. This was definitely my sewing project of the week last week. It took up a lot of my sewing time, but so pleased to not only have it in my wardrobe, but to also have spent the downtime decompressing and really leaning into my craft, which is a luxury that I need to afford myself more often. All right, guys, that is all I have for today. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and until next time, happy sewing.